Good afternoon. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today is Monday, April 7th, 2025. This is our weekly municipal update, and we have a show that's going to be chock full of many people coming in front of us today. Certainly, we'll be hearing from the Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney. Our municipal guest this week is the village mayor from Pelham, Chance Mullen. We're going to have a bill signing here, and we have a legal meeting already with the County Board of Legislators that'll be here for the bill that we will be signing today about the tax exemption for volunteer EMS and firefighters. We're going to talk with Commissioner Shalita Amler from the Department of Health, Dr. Shalita Amler, to talk about Black Maternal Health Week. This week, we're certainly going to have our great friend from the Harris Project, Stephanie Marcasano, come up and speak to us about some really exciting things that are happening in the work that she does. We'll hear some information about the Diverse Abilities Job Fair, Earth Day celebration, because it is Earth Month, but it's Earth Day every day. But we'll have an Earth Day celebration, and certainly have our good friend from Sustainable Westchester, Noam Bramson, here with the members of the team, as well as our Director of Energy and Sustainability, Pete McCart. And then we'll end up and talk a little bit about what's going on in the nationally accredited award-winning park system. And we're just making the Deputy County Executive nervous because there's just so much things going on. But we're going to start this afternoon in speaking with our municipal guest. He is a good friend of ours. He's been the village mayor of the village of Pelham. He's done such a tremendous job with his village. He has some things going on, whether it's housing that's being built, things that are happening on Main Street in the village, continuing development. I got a chance to be down there Saturday for a Double Eagle Scout presentation. And with that, let's turn over to our good friend, Chance Mullen. Mayor Mullen.
Thank you, County Executive Jenkins, and thanks everyone for being here. I'm excited to share a few updates on the work we're doing in the village of Pelham. It occurs to me it's a range of things. It's not one thing. We've got pretty full plates right now. So the first item on my list is one you all are very familiar with, our downtown improvement grant, which was granted to the village of Pelham alongside 4 other municipalities throughout Westchester by Westchester County. I am happy to share that in late February, we announced a local partnership between the Village of Pelham, the Pelham Chamber of Commerce, and the Catalyst of Westchester County's Office of Economic Development to launch a $100,000 grant program to support our local businesses and boost the aesthetic vibrancy of downtown Pelham. Through the grant program, we'll award individual reimbursement grants to local businesses for projects aimed at enhancing exterior facades. Things like installing new awnings, updating signage, creating outdoor seating areas, various facade improvements, and selected grantees can be awarded up to $5,000 to cover up to 2/3 of a project's cost. And if someone has a very big idea, we may award up to $10,000 to help them with something that's particularly ambitious. So since we announced, the applications have been coming into our local chamber. They've put together an excellent marketing strategy. They've also been hosting Q&As with local businesses. They've been walking up and down the street to help folks imagine what they might do with a little extra money. The deadline for applications is April 15th. It's just a little over a week away. So please get those applications in. If you want to apply, PelhamNYChamber.com has the application. Or if you have questions, you can email pelhamchamberofcommerce@gmail.com. The second update item I have today is related to the village's flood mitigation plans. A few years ago, we began what we knew would be a multi-year, multi-million-dollar flood mitigation project. We have 2 neighborhoods in our community that get hurt pretty bad anytime it rains, basically over 4 inches. And I know that folks throughout Westchester County are dealing with this. I think the county government has been a leader in this space, and we appreciate your leadership. We have a large watershed that the storm drainage equipment that we have just cannot support the folks in North Pelham and the folks in Pelham Heights, which is about 250 homes that are at risk of flooding. So our engineers put together a $36 million plan. Right now, we're in the engineering phase of the project, putting together all of that analysis and all of the construction drawings. Last month, we submitted grant applications through FEMA to hopefully secure about 75% of the funding, roughly $30 million. Grant applications, as everyone knows, take time to process, so we're hoping to overlap that process with our engineering phase. And tomorrow night, we'll be awarding bids for the geotechnical work that needs to happen in the village's roadways. This will help us meet our goal of getting to the 30% milestone by September. And I think on a rainy day like today, most of us living in communities that suffer from severe flooding know that days like this aren't very relaxing. Oftentimes, what I've heard in my community is people will postpone vacations and trips or sort of any out-of-town travel anytime they see rain in the forecast, because they know they're going to have to be there to deal with the sump pumps, to deal with whatever is going to come, because the times that they have left, they come back to standing water in their basement or sometimes even up to their first floor. So just know, if you are in that position, we are working diligently to get this done, and I'm excited to get to this next milestone. Third item is much happier. So on a slightly happier note, we are finally moved into our new municipal center. The last time I was here, actually, I think the last 2 times I've been here, I've spoken about a project that we did, a public-private partnership that we created to build new housing in our downtown, new commercial storefronts, new parking, and also take on our aging facilities. We had a firehouse, police station, village hall that were all reaching the end of their useful life. We now have a new municipal center. In December, our fire department and village hall staff moved into the building. Last month, our police department moved in. One firefighter said, "It's like sleeping in a hotel every night." So we're pretty excited about it. We are still doing a little bit of construction on the parking deck behind the building, but the next step is very important. We are very seriously planning the celebration, which should be coming up in mid-May, so please be on the lookout for that, County Executive Jenkins. We'll do some public tours, a flag-raising ceremony, a dedication, and believe it or not, on June 1st of this year, our village will be commemorating our 50th anniversary, because the village of Pelham was created through a merger on June 1st, 1975. So we have a lot to celebrate. And with that, I will close out. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
I like that applause too, right? But first we want to thank Chance Mullen, the mayor of the village of Pelham, who is no stranger to us here. He's been here several times, but more importantly, the great work that's happening in the village, whether it's the flood mitigation activities, and everyone that's here, all the county legislators and everyone else understands how challenging that could be. You know, what Mayor Bramson that was here is here with us as well. He has his woods problem as well, you know, in the woods, with all the flooding that has to go on, the studies that have to happen first, the work that has to be done through many different layers of government, being able to try to secure funding to be able to do that. Fantastic job, Mayor. And then turning over into the new municipal headquarters that's like a hotel, right? We're looking forward to coming and visiting, but the reality is that from the time that I know that I met you, that you were working on that to build a new firehouse when you first were running to elevate to be mayor in the village of Pelham. You were working on a firehouse that quite frankly was a place that we didn't even want to put a heavy fire truck into because it could not stand the weight, and to have that available for the village of Pelham, the municipal offices, it's another great opportunity. And the bottom line for the last thing about the downtown improvement grants, which everyone recognizes, and thank you, Mayor, for recognizing that it was something that came up, that was developed here in the county, and those downtown improvement grants have awarded for one of the other municipalities in Dobbs Ferry. They just recently got a momentum grant for $4.5 million because they were able to take the information from that study, leverage it, and utilize it in the application. And I know Mayor Mullen is already looking at making sure that happens. And the last thing, because we just came through March with all of the high holy days, and we always recognize that Mayor Mullen was the Grand Marshal in last year's Sound Shore Parade, and is certainly a great person to make sure that everything happens. So again, thanks a lot, Mayor Mullen, for being with us, Chance Mullen for being with us today, and bringing all that great information from what's happening in the Village of Pelham. We're going to switch right now, and we're going to ask the Commissioner of Emergency Services to come up with us. And what we're going to be doing today is signing legislation to expand the county's tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance service members. This initiative is going to ensure that all of our volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers residing in Westchester are eligible for the 10% property tax exemption regardless of the location of their volunteer service. So let me turn over to the Commissioner, and we'll go from there. All right?
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. The Department of Emergency Services thanks County Executive Jenkins, Deputy County Executive Wishney, who is a lifetime member of his volunteer fire department, Director of Operations Joan McDonald, and our County Board of Legislators. Thank you so much for enacting this legislation. It's an important recognition of the service our fire and EMS volunteers provide every day throughout Westchester. We appreciate also the support of our Deputy Commissioner, Mike Volk, and our Fire and EMS Advisory Boards. This 10% county tax assessment exemption provides a strong recruitment and retention opportunity for our volunteer fire and EMS agencies. By extending eligibility to volunteers for any fire or EMS department within the county, it increases the number of residents who are eligible for this benefit. This is one more way that Westchester County encourages our volunteer fire and EMS service members and builds on our other recruitment and retention actions. And I also want to give a particular shout out to one of our Board of Legislators who is a volunteer firefighter in her fire department, Thornwood, Margaret Cunzio. So this new law also creates an important public benefit as well. Volunteer departments provide a significant taxpayer savings to the towns and villages where they serve. By rewarding volunteer service, we provide support for our volunteers and for our local taxpayers. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. You used to have the one that slid out. Commissioner, before you go, we're going to ask our County Board of Legislators, since, again, besides the illegal meeting, that they're all here with us. We certainly have Legislator Margaret Cunzio that's here, Legislator David Imamura, Legislator Erica Lang Pierce, Legislator Judah Holstein, Legislator Colin Smith, and Legislator Nancy Barr. First, we're going to sign a piece of legislation. We'll ask the Deputy County Executive as well as Deputy Commissioner Mike Volk to come up, who is also a lifetime member, if I recall correctly, of the Yorktown, right? Volunteers. So let's do this right now.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, new pens, and we're gonna do the thank you. The ceremonial signing of the pens. We're gonna check and make sure it's the right day. So it's the 7th day. I know you got to do like pens. Like I'm looking like we're gonna do the hats like we're at like a drag racing and just start switching hats all the thing. Of April 2025. And because I can't never stop my signature in the middle, right, we have one pen to do that. And now, this is a law, right? So we'll make sure first, I'm only going to give one to our volunteer firefighter who does that work, right? I don't know who is the sponsors, right, of the legislation, right?
I think everyone's sponsored. I think everyone's
Well, so we're going to have to get pens for everyone, right? But for right now, we're going to make sure to hand one, because I know she worked so hard at this in her district. Was it Erica Lang Pierce, right? That has that kind of thing. And then we're going to hold out for right now so everyone else gets one, right? I'm going to ask the legislators if anyone would like to say something, and we'll move over really quickly because we know how this is. We'll start with, if that's okay, we'll start with the volunteer herself. Right? Worked so hard.
I just want to say thank you to County Executive Jenkins, to Deputy County Executive Richard Wishney, to DES Commissioner Susan Spear, and to Deputy Commissioner of DES Mike Volk. This is so important because, as Commissioner Spear spoke about, recruitment and retention is something that we are all working on in our volunteer fire departments in Westchester County. I know personally in Thornwood Fire Department, we have 2 members that live in other locations, but their work brings them to Thornwood every single day. They are now on our department, and they are there to assist during the day when many other volunteers are at their 9-to-5 jobs. This expands our workforce. It also ensures that we are protecting the residents of Thornwood, and it gives us extra man and woman power. So I think that the positive effects of this legislation are going to be seen immediately, and they expand to every municipality in Westchester County. A sincere thank you to my colleagues as well for co-sponsoring and supporting this legislation, because it will benefit all 17 of us in our districts. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Margaret.
So good afternoon, everyone. Colin Smith, and I represent Legislative District Number 1, where we have fire districts that are a mixture of both volunteer as well as full-time paid firefighters. And so I know that over the last few decades, or at least over the last couple of decades, certainly since I've been in elected office, there has been a decline in the number of volunteers, I think, and that's not just in our district, but all over the county, and I'm sure elsewhere. And so anything that we can do to help, support the recruitment efforts, we're happy to do here. And as we all know, most of the people who comprise our volunteer forces, our volunteer departments, members of our departments, they work full time. As you said, they have full-time day jobs, and they do this not for financial benefit. They do this because of their dedication and their commitment to serving their communities. And so we're happy to be able to provide this measure of relief, and we hope that it really will not only help those who are currently serving, but inspire those who are maybe thinking about it to come and to join, because volunteers are really the backbone of our emergency services here in Westchester. Thank you.
Next legislator.
I will be very brief because my colleague, who is a firefighter, really got it down pat. But I want to give a particular shout out to Allie Whalen, who this pen is going to. So years back, Allie Whalen, who was then captain of one of our ambulance corps, brought this issue to my attention. So I began lobbying Albany to make the change that we needed to have done in order for us to be able to make this change. They are quite the power couple, he in the fire department, her in the ambulance corps. And at that time, they were one of many families in my district who lived in one community but volunteered in another. It's such an important part of how we all work, not just the general mutual aid structure, but this other type of mutual aid. And I'm so glad we can finally give this appropriate thank you to all those folks who are doing that work, in addition to helping with the retention and recruitment that this brings to the table. So thank you so much. Allie, this pen's for you.
Legislator in the war. Legislative broadcast.
Thank you, County Executive. I'm David Memoir. I represent District 12. I have 4 volunteer fire departments in my district, and I know this is such an important measure to be passing for them, right? To ensure that the staffing shortages that we are facing in my district, in many of the fire districts around the county, is able to be dealt with. I think one thing that's really stands out to me is that for volunteer firefighters, when others run away from danger, they run towards it. When others are fleeing from a fire, they're the ones rushing towards the fire, right? So these are people who deserve every single element of relief we can provide them. And so I'm thrilled to support this legislation. I'm thrilled to join with my colleagues in ensuring that people get the respect and the dignity, the accommodations that they need. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Legislator Holstein.
Thank you, County Executive. I'm Judah Holstein, County Legislator, District 10. All right, well, I'm Judah Holstein, Legislator from District 10, Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and New Rochelle. And the only thing I'll say is we don't want to lose sight of our Volunteer Ambulance Corps, who will also benefit from this. As the home of Eastchester Volunteer Ambulance Corps, which is one of the most fabulous ambulance corps that I'm aware of in Westchester, I will say that we're glad to support all of our firefighters and our ambulance people who are volunteering and doing great service for our community. They are the true superheroes on the front line of our community. So thank you.
Well, we want to thank all the legislators. All right. Come on.
Okay, so they forced me to do this. I don't want to look like I don't appreciate our firefighters, and I do, and our EMS. I mean, we this is something that we all feel very strongly about. Obviously, that's why we're here, and we just have. We're just looking for ways to say thank you and to, as my first colleague who spoke said, to encourage more people to volunteer because it's really very valuable to all of us. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So thank you, legislators. Yeah, we can sit down, right? But we want to add in for everyone again, and every one of our legislative colleagues, Commissioner Spear, Deputy Commissioner Volk, and certainly our Deputy County Executive would recognize and say the same kind of things that everyone has said prior, which is that this was an opportunity to right that something that was wrong. There was always a tax credit that was available for volunteer ambulance and volunteer firefighters in the community. So you had to live in the community that you served. But many places in Westchester, most folks don't know there's hamlets and there's villages, there's towns, etc. And when you get out of different communities, a lot of times someone may live in community A but has served in community B. Deputy Commissioner Volk is a lifelong member of the Yorktown Volunteer Corps. So he made sure to continue to do that work. But does he have to live in your town to keep doing the volunteer work? No, right? And the reality is that all of the professionals that are in this world, the volunteers that work so hard to give their time, energy, and effort, when you pick up the phone, you don't go, do you live in the community that I'm in? When you call 911, you expect someone to come out and do that work. And the folks in the volunteer world, for whether it's fire or EMS, make sure that they're there for all of us. So again, no matter where you live, if you are a volunteer, and it's another program that we put in, whether it's the HEROES program that was developed with Commissioner Spear and our Deputy County Executive and the leadership of the Emergency Services team, with the Board of Legislators here in this particular opportunity, and as Legislator Erica Lang Pierce has been fighting for this for a long time. So first at our state legislators, and thank you for them making sure that that's available. And now, it's a law here in Westchester, so thanks everyone, right? All right, and we're gonna continue on because this week, next week, April 11th through April 17th is Black Maternal Health Week. And what we're gonna do is ask our Commissioner of Health, Dr. Shalita Amler, to come up and give us some words about that. Dr.
Thank you. Thank you, County Executive. Health equity and improving health outcomes is an important goal for Westchester County's Health Department and for this administration, and there is much work to be done. Black mothers are nearly 4 times as likely to deliver preterm babies as other mothers in Westchester, and Black women face increasing risks during pregnancy and childbirth. Like you, we want to see all mothers and babies thrive in Westchester. We are excited to announce the launch of a new maternal health dashboard just in time for Black Maternal Health Week, which starts this Friday. This dashboard is a powerful tool that will help us track our progress as we work to reduce racial disparities and health equities and improve Black maternal and child health outcomes. The dashboard can be found on our website, on our county website, Health County website page at westchestergov.com/health. The dashboard can assist policymakers, advocates, grant funders, and program managers by informing their decisions with detailed information about the root causes of birth outcomes. It can also help point the way to solutions. The creation of this dashboard is an outgrowth of the Black Maternal Health Initiative, which was launched in 2023 to improve Black maternal health and made possible with county funding. And we thank the county for that. To improve Black maternal health, we have formed a partnership with Sister to Sister International, Birth from the Earth, the Children's Health Research Foundation, Lower Hudson Valley Perinatal Network, and St. John's Riverside Hospital. Together, we are working to lift up Westchester's women and families. We aim to improve outcomes for birthing mothers through a combination of provider training to increase patient participation in medical decision-making, an increase in home visits, more prenatal and birthing consultations, support groups for mothers and new fathers, and referrals to other sources. The goal is to make the healthcare system work for all women, help Black women get the support they need, empower mothers to improve their own health and the health of their families. Together, with your support, we can help families develop a solid foundation that gives every child a good start in life. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Amler, and certainly to all the members of the health department and all the team that was mentioned as far as Sister International, Birth from the Earth, and all the groups that are participating in trying to improve the healthcare outcomes. And again, it's really, there's many parts of the program, but the real parts of the program happen to do with empowering the women themselves to be able to help the professionals that are helping them make better decisions. And that kind of conversation, I don't think there's anyone that would say that that is not important to do for everyone. And again, whatever things that happen, give people a better opportunity to have better healthcare outcomes, whether it's pre-baby care, pre-wellness care when someone's pregnant, and then after care, to take sure that not only the baby's taken care of, which happens a lot, but the mom as well, and dads, to be able to do better jobs in doing this. So again, thank you so much, Dr. Amler, for your leadership in working through this. And I know we have some other exciting opportunities that we're going to announce a little bit later on, which again show some of those great programs, and it's a very, very exciting program that we're looking forward to. At this time, I'm going to ask the Deputy County Executive to come up for just a second while we get all of our paperwork back together.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. At this time, we're excited to talk about the Diverse Abilities Job Fair that's going to take place on Thursday, April 17th at the County Center, and that's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The job fair will feature local employers offering internship, part-time, and full-time opportunities. Attendees can also take part in resume and interview workshops designed to support individuals with disabilities in their job search. We have over 70 employers and resource providers, including many county departments, state agencies, hospitals, not-for-profits, schools, and businesses will be present. The job fair is open to all people with disabilities. The schedule again is from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., individual meetings, which requires pre-registration. And from 11 to 1, job fair and workshops will take place. Registration is suggested, but not required. We are doing a virtual workshop for job seekers on April 14th at 2 p.m. For questions, registration assistance, or accommodation requests, contact Jeff Sitovsky at 914-995-2956. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deputy County Executive Wishney. At this time, we're going to welcome up Stephanie Marcasano, who is the founder of the Harris Project. We welcome her here today. She's the founder of the Harris Project, whose son Harris passed away from an accidental overdose 11 years ago. Stephanie and her entire family has been working tirelessly to raise awareness about co-occurring disorders, the critical link between substance use and mental health. Now, her efforts are being featured in Us Weekly. The magazine teamed up with the Harris Project to release The Missing Issue, a special edition framing celebrity stories to shed light on co-occurring disorders, something over 20 million Americans struggle with. The Missing Issue highlights 14 celebrity stories, including Matthew Perry, Amy Winehouse, and Demi Lovato, while also sharing expert insights and personal experiences to shift how the media reports on substance misuse. The goal is to foster understanding and ultimately to save lives. Here to tell us more about this is our friend and the founder of the Harris Project, Stephanie Marcasato.
Thank you so much. So these things don't happen overnight, and I always say that in my tragedy, I am the luckiest person to live in Westchester County, because Ken Jenkins, when he was the deputy county executive, has attended every program and event we've done with young people. County executive, now my Congressman George Latimer, so super supportive. But I'm going to say this. When you follow the breadcrumbs and you stay the course, incredible things happen. So originally, I didn't really know what I was going to do other than launching the Harris Project at his funeral, dedicated to prevention, treatment, and systems transformation. I always say you can't prevent something you've never heard of, and most people have never heard of co-occurring disorders. You can't demand access to better care if you don't know what's missing. Here in Westchester County, we have CODA, Co-Occurring Disorders Awareness. County executive just presented and said our words of welcome at our youth summit. 700 students from 44 high schools participated, learning all about co-occurring disorders, have activities and programs for the month of April. People have often said, why the month of April? Well, we celebrate Co-Occurring Disorders Awareness Month in Westchester County in April because Harris's birthday is April 8th. And the thought always was that if this turns into something, I will always be busy. My daughter was starting college when Harris died, and it has really turned into a movement. From that movement came the opportunity for opioid response dollars to go to create the first co-occurring disorders awareness curriculum in the entire country. We're partnered with Partnership to End Addiction, and that launched, and it's been extremely successful. And from there, now we have young people who understood what co-occurring disorders was, and they saw themselves in the narrative, possibly. We found our way to Encompass, which is integrated evidence-based treatment. It started as a very small pilot funded through the Westchester Community Foundation, and it's launched into a federal SAMHSA grant that the Department of Community Mental Health has. If you know a young person, 12 to 29, with co-occurring disorders, there is a wraparound coordinator at the Department of Community Mental Health who can navigate you to care. There are supports for families through Invitation to Change and pro-social activities through an INCLOR coordinator that was supported through Andrea Stewart-Cousins' office, who is my state senator and the majority leader. I also chair the Co-Occurring System of Care Committee. I co-chair with Drew Mullane from WJCS and with Mary Manchin from the Department of Community Mental Health. That led us to a piece in the New York Times. It was a cover story that covered the amazing work happening here in Westchester. It featured Harris's story, my experiences, and the failures of the system nationally. Havas, New York reached out after that. Josh Cornrich grew up in Ardsley. He knew my son. He was a few years older. And he said, we'd like to do a public service campaign with you. The You Don't Know the Half of It, first of its kind, Co-Occurring Disorders Awareness Public Service Campaign received 40 national and international awards. But they weren't done. They decided that they wanted to go bigger. And so when they approached me with this opportunity to have an article in Us Weekly magazine, I was very excited. And then when they pitched the concept to the editor-in-chief, he said, we want to do an entire special edition. So in the first week of the online launch of the magazine and social campaign nationally, it received 2 billion impressions. This magazine is a special edition. Us Weekly was also committed to making sure the proceeds go to the Harris Project. So if you order this magazine, the proceeds go to us, and all of that goes right back into our programming that we do. Westchester is truly shaping the nation view. We are a national model of recognition in this space. We present nationally all the time on this topic. And for Us Weekly, their vision was when they cover celebrity overdose and death, it's often sensationalized in the media. They want to elevate the standards. They want to take stigma and shame and blaming and turn it into empathy and compassion. And for me, of course, I agree with that message, but I also believe, right back to what I said earlier, you can't prevent something you've never heard of. You can't demand better care if you don't know what's missing. I know these are challenging times, but this is the time to really think strategically and proactively and really learn to do more. So we all have a space in the co-occurring disorders conversation. Thank you so, so much for this opportunity.
We want to continue to thank Stephanie Marcassano and her family for the leadership that they have that allows us to get to the place where we have the Us Weekly magazine. See, I got mine too, right? But more importantly, to make sure that we have the message that you can't help what you don't understand. You can't treat what you don't understand. And to change the language and the messaging, Stephanie Marcassano has been doggedly insistent on trying to make sure that we're making a difference, is making a difference with your leadership in New York State, to make sure our laws reflect things appropriately. And again, getting to this place where 2 billion impressions on the electronic version of the magazine of this particular article is just impressive beyond belief, but more importantly, it's lifting up the opportunities for people to understand what co-occurring disorders are and to make sure lives can be saved. So again, thank you so much, Stephanie, for everything that you do. We in Westchester aren't a leader. You're the leader, and you just happen to live in Westchester, and we have great folks that have been supportive. Commissioner Michael Orr has been along this journey with you from the very beginning, and to make sure that we can continue to do this. Again, thank you so much. And again, congratulations from that particular perspective of even getting it to a higher level to make change for everyone. So thanks again. At this time, we're going to ask, in recognition of Earth Month, and coming up on the Earth Day celebration, we're going to ask the Director of Sustainability and Energy for Westchester County, Pete McCart, to come up, and then he'll introduce a few guests, but I know he's going to make sure that he brings up our good friend who was also a former mayor in the city of New Rochelle, the Queen City on the Sound, but he is the Executive Director of Sustainable Westchester, who's here with us as well. That's our friend Noam Bramson. I know I got all signs and boards. Come on up, Pete McCart.
Thank you, County Executive. Yeah, my favorite month, Earth Month. Spring has sprung, and the wonderful rain we've got going on right now is filling our reservoirs and fueling our glorious blossoms on our trees and our bushes, along with the arrival of crocuses, daffodils, and tulips. So it's a beautiful time of the year here in Westchester. Further fuel for our lovely flora here in Westchester is compost, also known as black gold. We have a dual cooperative event scheduled for Sunday, April 27th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Household Material Recovery Facility that's located in Valhalla. It's right next to the Compost Ed Center. It's right across the street from the correctional facility there. It is also one of our residential compost distribution days, wherein we give back compost from the food scrap programs that we run. There's 2 tons of compost a week are created there at Compost Ed. This give back is going to be combined with another one of our compost bin and barrel sales. So we sell rain barrels and compost bins and all these other tools and things that go with that. You must register for the compost give back, and you must place your order for your bin and barrel. There are 2 different links, 2 different sites. They link back and forth to each other, but the one of them is shorter than the other, so I'm going to read that one. It's westchester.compostersale.com. I think they're going to put it down on the below here. You must register, like I said, and you must place your order. These bins and barrels and a whole bunch of these other tools that you use for composting, they're all sold at cost. The county doesn't make a dime on them. We buy lots of them. We get them at wholesale and sell them out. I'd also like to mention that the county has been rapidly expanding our EV charging infrastructure for the county. But it's for the county fleet, but it's also for the public. All of our golf course parks now have charging, and we are in the process of adding it to many of our other county parks. Ward Pound Ridge, Lasden Park, and Ridge Road Park are already in a build phase. 50 chargers are now up and running at the county center commuter lot. This is the lot that's on the west side of the river and the Bronx River Parkway, but further away from the county center, and it makes it easy to just walk up the stairs and get on the train from there. It'll also be great for Bike Sundays. It's a great place to bring your car and charge it there and ride up and down the parkway. And you can also go to the county center events. Lastly, I'd like to briefly mention our demand response program. The county, we participate in several of these programs. And in the 6.5 years that we've been doing this, we've earned over $2 million by drawing down our electrical use when called on by the grid operators, usually during the heat of the summer, so we can minimize brownout and blackouts and eliminate the need to build more fossil fuel plants or fire up these old ones. We have 17 facilities and buildings that are participated in these. And guess what? As a homeowner, you too can join in and get involved in this demand response program. And I'd like to invite Lauren Bryce to come up and from Sustainable Westchester and tell us more about how homeowners can get involved with this.
Thanks, Pete. Really appreciate it. And thank you, County Executive Jenkins, for having us today. Hi there, everyone. My name is Lauren Bryce, and I'm the Director of the Building Decarbonization Programs at Sustainable Westchester. Sustainable Westchester is a municipally led shared service that delivers climate solutions to the governments, people, businesses, and organizations of Westchester County. And through our programming, Sustainable Westchester has been at the forefront of both regional and statewide initiatives to achieve a clean energy transition. So I'm really delighted to be here today to recognize the 55th anniversary of the first Earth Day. Yeah, it's pretty special. So it's a great moment to kind of celebrate our progress and also to recommit to our healthy and livable planet goals so that we can achieve a sustainable future for oncoming generations. We know that climate change, biodiversity loss, extreme weather events, and environmental injustices are key issues for our time. So on Earth Day, we're reminded of our collective potential to create change for the better. Now, we want to highlight a special thing happening in Westchester County. Sustainable Westchester will help celebrate Earth Month, all month long in Westchester County. We have a list of festivals, nature, cleanups, many special events happening all over the county as organized by sustainability groups, including conservation advisory commissions, volunteers, and other local organizations. So if you are motivated to clean up trash, maybe you want to sip some beer, some local beer by the Hudson River at the Ossining Earth Day Festival, attend a documentary, a virtual book talk, learn about pollinator pathways, pick up some free compost like you were mentioning. There really is something for everybody this month in Westchester County when it comes to Earth Day. So to find that calendar that you may be seeing on the screen, you can visit sustainablewestchester.org/Earth Day 2025 to find a full list of all the events that we are highlighting. Right now, there's over 60 events on the list, and there's definitely something for everyone. And if you're feeling inspired to take action this month, Sustainable Westchester is a partner to help folks in your residential setting. Perhaps you want to have a home energy assessment in a commercial building. You might want to have a building building energy audit to explore the potential of geothermal, air source heat pumps. We can help you access those rebates, incentives, and New York State programs, as well as for people seeking information about solar, community solar, so many options. We are here. So sustainablewestchester.org or give us a call. And the one program that we really want to highlight this month is Grid Rewards. So that is talking about our demand response program that will pay you to lower your energy usage at key times over the summer. It is open to most Con Edison customers, including small energy users like myself in an apartment in White Plains, all the way up to large campuses, including government entities. Many municipalities participate in this program, as well as many local school districts. So a lot of times when I'm talking about this program to people, they say, where does the money come from for this program? And it's a pretty simple answer. The utility would much rather pay you as an energy user to reduce demand over the summer and instead of turning on their peaker power plant. So it's just shifting. Instead of paying a peaker power plant to turn on, the utility can pay us to create a virtual power plant. And when it comes to payments, a lot of Grid Rewards users found their payments being received last week. So across Westchester County, Grid Rewards users received over $200,000 for their participation last summer, with the highest user earning over $600. That's the highest residential user. One of the biggest schools that we have participating is the city of New Rochelle, and they earned over $70,000 by reducing their electricity usage just a few times for a few hours last summer. So there is a lot of potential with the demand response program. Okay, and the last thing I'd like to mention is we've had a lot of fun with demand response. So if you're feeling motivated, take action this month. Please reach out to Sustainable Westchester. We can help community groups, houses of worship, such as many local temples and churches are participating with our program. They've signed up their building as well as their congregation to get motivated on demand response. People can use this as a fundraising tool. We've got some local Girl Scout troops giving out cookies and information about demand response as they earn their energy badges, and also use this as a fundraiser. So please be in touch with Sustainable Westchester. We have a whole marketing toolkit that we can help to distribute to your members and help promote this program. So thank you very much for having us today, and to download Grid Rewards, please visit the Sustainable Westchester website, and you'll want to do that before April 30th to receive maximum rewards. So thanks again for having us today.
Lauren, thank you so much. That was awesome. But we have the executive director here as well, so we're going to ask Noam Bramson to come up and say, all right, but I'm not sure you can top what you just did, because but it was very impressive. But at this time, I want to make sure that we have that opportunity with our good friend, Noam Bramson.
Yeah, as Lauren was talking, the deputy county executive poked me and he said, she's really good, isn't she? And I said, amen to that. I feel very lucky to be at an organization where I get to go to work every day with people like Lauren and Dara, another one of our teammates who are here. And really a pleasure to be in the company of county executive, deputy county executive commissioners, county legislators. Great team with great leadership, and we always welcome the opportunity to partner. Stephanie, what an honor to be in your presence. Really greatly moved by what you've accomplished. I also am reminded that our publications on social media get 2 billion impressions, give or take 1.999 billion. So we have a little bit of catch up to do. I just want to underline what Lauren said a moment ago. I'll be very brief. It's terrific that so many people are going to be gathering over the next few weeks to celebrate their commitment to what we can do to be stewards of the planet. And we're thrilled to be able to partner with communities and organizations in order to get as many people as possible out celebrating that commitment. But that's just a good beginning. Because if we don't translate that impulse into action, into deeds, if we don't operationalize it, then we're really letting ourselves down, we're letting our kids and our grandkids down. And that is what Sustainable Westchester is about. And it doesn't necessarily entail sacrifice. You know, we're all about abundance. That's a word in the news a lot these days. The clean energy transition can give us a better future, a more just future, a future in which all of us have opportunities that don't exist today, but we have to get from here to there. And so the whole spectrum of programming that we offer enables each of us in our own way to do what we can to help make the world a healthier place. And the program that Lauren emphasized, Grid Rewards, that is the lowest of low-hanging fruit. Zero barrier to entry, guaranteed money in your pocket with absolutely no risk, and you're doing something great to make the grid more resilient. You're doing something to reduce pollution in areas that are hardest hit. You're doing your little part to help make our region and our world healthier and more sustainable. So there is no excuse. If you live in the Con Ed service territory, no excuse whatsoever not to sign up for the program immediately at sustainablewestchester.org. I'll wrap it up there and just say again, County Executive, how thrilled we are to be able to partner with you, and we appreciate your leadership on this issue and so many others. Thank you.
Well, first, thank you, Noam Bramson, our leader first in Sustainable Westchester right now, and continuing to make sure that we understand, especially in some of these challenging times with chaos and confusion that's at the federal level, that we have all of our local partners and leaders like Sustainable Westchester being able to partner with all of us. Pete McCart trying to explain to us that we had $2 million worth of savings, which basically is a Grid Rewards type program, right, to do that kind of thing. It's so much easier with Grid Rewards. Scan it, sign up, and be able to get into that low-hanging fruit. But again, whether we were talking about flooding, whether we're talking about making sure that we have alternative fuel vehicles, all those things were so very important. So thanks a lot, Noam. Thanks a lot, Lauren. And certainly Pete McCart, our Director of Energy and Sustainability for Westchester County. With that, let's bring up the Deputy County Executive to let us know everything that's happening in parks, including some times that we might have the Westchester Knicks with co-occurring disorders.
Right. Wow, today's been a very special program. So many good things are happening here in Westchester County. It's really an honor to be able to participate at my level. We often talk about our nationally accredited and award-winning Parks and Recreation Department, and I don't know if many people know that we have some 50 parks here in Westchester County, some 18,000 acres, and it's open to everyone to use on a regular basis. And we wanted to share, as we do every week, some of the activities that are about to occur. Starting tomorrow, we have on April 8th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we have Gardening Tuesdays, and as was mentioned earlier today, it's the beginning of the season. Things are popping up out of the ground. They're beautiful. You can enhance your gardening skills and plant knowledge by working side by side with gardeners at Lasden Park. The tasks include planting, watering, weeding, and everything that comes along with it, and you can learn a lot from these local experts. On Wednesday, April 9th, from 11 to 12, we have the monthly director tour at Lasden Park. Again, join Lasden Director Jessica Schuler on a tour of the park as well as the Arboretum. And then on Saturday, April 12th from 8:30 to 9:30, morning grooming. You can participate at the Del Bello Muscoot Farm. The experience and joy of grooming our friendly horses and donkeys. I didn't know donkeys were so friendly, but that's good to learn. This hands-on program lets kids ages 12 and older to help care for the animals through brushing and grooming. It supports the coat maintenance and encourages the positive socialization of the animals. That program will also take place again on May 10th and June 14th. And also on Saturday, April 12th from 1 p.m. to 2:30, the Signs of Springtime at the Edith Reed Wildlife Sanctuary in Rye. You can go on a journey to find clues of spring emergence, from birds to bees to leafing trees. And on Sunday, April 13th from 9 to 11, History and Natural History at Croton Point Park in Croton. And you can join the village historian and the park naturalists for a hike exploring scenic and fascinating Croton Point Park. Meet at the RV park entrance. It's all free for everyone, ages 6 and up, and wear sturdy shoes. And finally, on Sunday, April 13th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., we're going to have at the Westchester County, you can check out over 250 vendor tables of reptiles, amphibians, invertebrates, supplies, and more. No donkeys, but you're all welcome to attend. Thank you very much. I'm stealing your papers.
Thank you, Deputy County Executive. Yes, that is actually one of the favorites, by the way, for the at the County Center, which is the reptile show that'll happen. And certainly you can make sure to sign up online if you go to parks.westchestergov.com. Sign up for that weekly Parks newsletter, get all that great information, get even more information than the Deputy County Executive gave, including some discounts and all those kind of things, and be up to date on everything that's happening in the nationally accredited award-winning park system for Westchester County. Last thing I wanted to mention before we wrap up for this week is there's so much information that we had. We want to make sure that we're recognizing another Westchester champion for basketball, which is Stepanak, Archbishop Stepanak, celebrating another championship. They're going to come in and we'll have a whole separate item where we can have all of our championship teams come in and do some great opportunities to be able to be here with us in Westchester County and being recognized not only in the local communities, but again for the county. And then we'll get another legal meeting of the County Board of Legislators, whether those are the girls in Ardsley, where Legislator Imamura, or the Stepanak, which covers everyone. It covers some folks in the Bronx and all of those kind of things. We look forward to seeing them here. And congratulations, Archbishop Stepanak, on another championship that they have continued to do here in White Plains at Archbishop Stepanak. So first, we want to thank Mayor Chance Mullen from the Village of Pelham for coming in and speaking to us today. We were able to have our Board of Legislators with us as we signed the legislation to give that volunteer EMS and firefighter tax exemption with Commissioner Susan Spear and Deputy Commissioner Mike Vogt. We had conversations with our Commissioner of Health speaking about Black Maternal Health Week, which is April 11th through April 17th. So Dr. Amler told us all about that and some of the initiatives that we've been having on since 2023 and continuing initiatives that were invested in by our federal government. Our good friend Stephanie Marcasano from the Harris Project talking about Us Magazine. Make sure you go online and check that out at the Harris Project. You can see it there, or link right to Us Weekly to do that as well. But I think you should go through the Harris Project website because I think they get clicks from that too, to make sure that people understand the work that Stephanie Marcasano and everyone connected to that, especially her family, for the Harris Project that continues on. The Diverse Abilities Job Fair that's coming on Thursday, April 17th from 10 to 1. We'll talk more about that next week, but there's certainly sign up that needs to be done, so please take some time to do that. The Diverse Abilities Job Fair is fantastic with over, I think they had over 100 different 70 vendors and resources to be able to do that employment, and especially because in a Diverse Abilities Job Fair, we might need to be making some special accommodations for people to have individual interviews. And again, that's why signing up is so important. We had our Director of Conservation and Sustainability for Westchester County, Pete McCart, and the Director of Energy Smart Homes and Grid Rewards at Sustainable Westchester, Lauren Bruce, was up here with us to speak about that. And we had a guest appearance by our Executive Director of Sustainable Westchester because he was in the room, and we wanted to make sure to shout out a good friend at every moment that we can. And again, we had so many things going on in Westchester County. We want you to continue to make sure to watch and pay attention. Make sure to follow on social media, sign up for the e-newsletter for the county as well as for the Parks Department. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ken Jenkins, County Executive. Have a wonderful day.